Hello and welcome. Today's video, it is not me playing. Today we're watching a replay of one of my friends, Strangers123, playing the Tier 5 Soviet destroyer, the Gremyashchy. It is an interesting ship. You could only get it during the pre-order. At least I think it was like that. The interesting thing about this ship is that it has a detection range of 7 kilometers, that is base, and almost 14 kilometers range, which is interesting because a destroyer gets plus 4 kilometers on concealment range when he fires their guns. This means that this destroyer can actually fire relatively fast relatively fast shells quite the distance without being detected even when firing the guns, and not in smoke or behind an island or anything like that. Yes, the damage isn't high, but it's 130mm guns, so it's quite a bit better than most other destroyers who have lower caliber guns. On top of that, the fire rate is really good as well. The torpedoes aren't that impressive though, they are only 8 kilometers in range, and the damage is pretty mediocre, but this is something you can't do with most destroyers. Okay, I don't know if it's most, but you cannot do this with many destroyers. The Fletcher is another example of a destroyer that can do something like this, but the Fletcher's caliber is lower, so you're less likely to deal damage. So essentially, I'm planning on showing more videos that are of awesome games to viewers that are submitted by viewers or friends or similar. I'll add an email in the description of the video, but since I haven't really done it before, I can't exactly promise that I will show all of them or even most of them. Anyways, this match is on Ocean, and essentially he is using the ability to fire without being detected fully. As you can, his commander has the skill which would show him when he's spotted, but you can't see it pop up even though he's firing all of his guns all the time, which is quite something. He doesn't really deal much damage though. I mean, considering the amount of times he has pressed fire, he hasn't hit all that many times, but the main thing that deals damage on this ship is fire rather than shells directly. On top of that, it's not like these ships are gonna run away, he just needs time, since he isn't being shot at. Right now a bit of blue line scraping is going on, but it's not like this really matters. I mean, he isn't detected, so nobody could even fire back anyway. Now he's detected because some planes came close enough to spot him when he's firing his guns. If he wasn't firing, then those planes wouldn't have spotted him. But since they left again, he isn't spotted anymore. I think the plan now is to just keep going on this blue line while firing at this battleship to finish this one and then move back towards the middle. By that point, the game should be much more open and he should have much more ability to move around. Right now it's just that if he went into the middle, then all those ships are there and planes flying, so he would be spotted and probably focus fired. His luck with fires is pretty good this game though. He is being detected by a ship, which is a bit interesting. Yeah, that Fusa is within 10.7 kilometers. Okay. Now he's far enough. He's right on the edge of being detected without other ships, and this Warspite came really close. Arsonist with 1 kill. Now, since there are no other ships closer, he can start moving forward again. As long as he stays away 11 kilometers from any other enemy ship, he should be fine. Well, when the dive bombers leave, of course. Right now, actually, if he was just sitting next to the Warspites, it doesn't really matter anyway if he's detected, because everything is gonna fire at the battleship anyway. This thing is really good against battleships, because battleships are less likely to dodge and are much easier to hit with shells this slow. I mean, look at it, it takes 10 seconds to fly like 14 kilometers. By the way, this technique would actually work on any kind of ship. It's just that most ships do not have the appropriate concealment range, because the trouble is that cruisers get added 8 kilometers and battleships 12.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
So it's rather unlikely that you would be able to do this with other ship classes, although technically possible. Something like a Japanese cruiser with concealment expertise and something like range upgrades and stuff like that could actually make it doable, maybe. But I think you would still require a plane that is a scout plane to actually execute it, which means you can't do it all the time, so it isn't nearly as good. Since the Fusa is gonna die, I think it's a good, or since most other ships are also focusing on it, it's good to start switching targets and start whittling down other ones as well, I think. Especially because the Fusa is actually running away, so if he kept chasing the Fusa, he would get into detection range of these other ships. On top of that, since he utilizes mainly fire damage, it's best to hit targets that aren't being actively attacked by many other enemies, so the damage over time effects of the fire can work. But I mean, look at it. Look how much harder it is to hit the Pepsi Cola. However, on the bright side, the Pepsi is much less armored, so you're much more likely to deal decent damage with HE. So, the Pepsi is an important target mainly because the Pepsi is very good against the ship. I mean, he could probably be detected by the carrier if the carrier brought over planes, or some other ship might get near the Gremy without him noticing, so it's a good idea to deal with cruisers that are likely to try to attack. It's much less likely for a battleship to attack, because the battleship is just likely to miss.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Anyways, have to look at where the other Pepsi is as well, and luckily this Pepsi is really low, so shouldn't be that difficult to sink. I like how Mech is mad in chat about it being a gold ship. I mean, yes, the ship is important in this regard, but I don't think that the ship actually helps that much.
Engine boost deactivated.
I do wonder one thing, whether concealment expertise, the tier 5 captain skill, would be beneficial, whether it lowers the 4-kilometer added bonus or not. I think it doesn't, but maybe it does. That would be an interesting thing to test and find out. So now it's back to shelling things, and it's only the carrier and Gremy left on this side, and the enemy has 4 left. A carrier and 3 battleships. And I mean, it's a Ryujo as well, and a Fuso, and a New York, and a Wyoming. So they are all targets that take quite a while to kill. And he only has 5 minutes left. I mean, yes, the Ryujo might, or Hiryu might be able to do something though. And he is detected by this fighter plane that was launched by the cruiser, which is really unfortunate. But as you can see, battleships firing at the destroyer at this range are very unlikely to hit. So he can't really even just fire, even if he's detected. The tricky part is rather when you get hit by another side, like if you expect all enemies to be somewhere here, and then suddenly an enemy appears here and starts attacking you. That can be dangerous because you don't realize they are shooting at you and can't take evasive actions before being hit. This ship also has 12 rounds per minute, so, well, or shoots 12 rounds per minute. Right there, he selected a plane to kill it faster, probably anyway. That would be a nice thing to show in replays as well. But that Wyoming is probably gonna die to the fire. Oh my god, 11 HP. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's not like he has anything else to do when sailing in that direction, since he doesn't have other potential targets in range. But this kind of a combination is extremely smart, and he utilizes it incredibly well. This is something that more people should try. Although I hope they don't do it against me. I would find it extremely annoying. But it's really effective, and this is something that makes destroyers actually pretty nice. Well, the ones that can do it anyway. Luckily the Fuso is pretty low HP, and so is the carrier, so he can just keep skirting along and firing at them. And the Hiryu is still alive. Well, I kind of feel bad for that Fuso though. He doesn't have the hull upgrade, so his range is really poor. Although I guess in this case it would be fine enough once he spots the destroyer. Still, can't really have nice games with unupgraded hulls on the Fuso. Also can't believe he is still alive. And he already has got 18 fires. That fire RNG has been pretty good to him this game. Luckily, the carrier realizes that that Stranger is attacking the Fuso, so the carrier is going for the enemy carrier kill. Since there's only 90 seconds or so left. And I mean, killing like this might be safe, but it takes quite a while to actually kill an enemy. I don't think he has been hit by anything so far. The only thing that has hit was, or rather, the only HP lost was the ram. But yeah, this is essentially how you can play really well with the Gremmy. And if you have the ship, try it out. It's well worth it. But you do need the advanced firing training passive from the commander skill tree. Otherwise, I don't think it works. And the game is over. 45 seconds left. So, since this was a replay, let's look at the scorecards as images. And as you can see, 6,300 experience, 360k credits, and Confederate and Arsonist, and I think that's a Witherer. So scorecard-wise, he wasn't actually number one on his team. But he did get 2100 base experience, which is really good in a destroyer, especially at tier 5 in a game that has tier 7s. He ended up doing 110k damage, and most of it was not from shells. That's 63k damage just from fires, and 46 to 7k from the HE shell hits. And took quite a while. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.